Tonight on DFY Magic Themes, we're going over how to re-index your site with Google if you've got pages that aren't being seen or are out of date, yet you've updated them. Where's that Friday feeling? Hello. First in the room tonight was Bob, followed by Stefan, followed by Tommy, followed by Richard and Colin. I think I've said everyone else at the moment. Everyone else will pop in the room as we get going. Tonight we're talking about Google and what happens if you've got a page that is a bit out of date on Google but up to date on your website. We're going to show you how. Well, actually, we're going to show you how on the inner circle. We'll talk about it before we go to the inner circle. All that and lots more. If you want to join the inner circle, go to dfymagicthemes.com/live for you. That's the number for you. We get going in a moment. Hello, good evening, good afternoon, good morning, upside down, left and right, wherever you are. Welcome to the live for you. Hope you're doing well. You all right, Robert?
It's happy Friday. It's been a long, hard couple of weeks. But you know what? Everybody's grinding away. We're getting people to turn in their tickets so we know where everybody's at. And we're moving forward.
We always are, and it's getting more and more exciting as we move along with everything we're doing. Really impressive results that we've been getting at our end with ranking sites. But we wanted to talk about the elephant in the room. What happens if you've got an older domain name and you've got that domain name up online, and let's just say you've revamped the whole site, but when you go to Google, it's showing all the old indexing. Well, you need to look at the Google Search Console. And we've got some training which we're going to show the inner circle people how to do that in a little while, because the Search Console is your friend when it comes to waking Google up, getting Google to smell the coffee, wake up, go, hello, here's my site. Because Google's indexing, you remember, millions of sites all the time. They have to crawl millions of sites. So if your site is been up for a while and it's just sat there, it's a bit like, you know, sticking a drink in the corner of the room and leaving it goes moldy eventually, you know?
Well, you know, the worst thing in the world, right? You're building a site. You're proud of your site. And somehow it got indexed before you were ready. Yeah. And it got indexed with the wrong phone number, the wrong information, the wrong data, you know? And here it's out there on the net, and you're thinking, how do I fix it? I need to get this fixed. But you don't want to argue with Google. They indexed your site. So I don't want to mess up what I did, but I need to have it corrected information. And that's, for a lot of people, I know that's terrifying because you don't want to screw around with Google, right? And give them a reason to hurt your site. You know, you're making progress. You're doing the right things. You're building your site. You got indexed, and it indexed you quickly with, like I said, the wrong information. And, you know, that's one of the main reasons why we teach what we do with the under construction plugin. But yeah, you have to be careful when it comes to getting into the Google Search Console. You have to be careful doing these things in such a way that you don't hurt yourself or hurt your ranking in Google. And that's why this kind of information is best to be followed, but somebody that's practiced it, like Stephen, right? This stuff has always terrified me. I've always waited and let Google just index me naturally. But there's things you can do. There's things that you can make it better for yourself when you know how.
That's right. You're right. I was just replying to somebody, giving them a link to the room, Robert. That's what I was busy
No
doing.
problem. No problem.
So, but the thing is, and with this, Google's Google at the end of the day. And so they're forever doing updates. But one thing we say all along the lines, doesn't matter how often Google changes from penguin to cat to dog, whatever it may be in the future, it doesn't matter, right?
Yep.
All that matters is your website is local and relevant to the area. So if you, let's say we're going to put a site up in Bristol, you want the content to be regularly about Bristol, keyword Bristol, keyword your niche, and make sure you do all the SEO on page, and then go off locally and find citations. Now we know sometimes you have problems getting citations. If you've got a citation you can't sign up with for some reason, go and find another one. If you've looked at all the ones we recommend in the accountability program, well, guess what? Find some others that you don't necessarily need to verify and sign up with them instead. All right. That's the thing with this, is you just got to make sure you're continually updating, doing the things you have to do to make sure that your site is being found. Content is always king. One of the mistakes that I notice that people make when it comes to Google and building a site, they built their site and they go, great, my site's built, I'm going to leave it now. I'm going to go off, put my feet up, have a cup of tea, and then 2 years later, they go in and do an update. Well, that's no good. You need to be going in every so often and putting content in. The DFY Magic theme builds are designed so every time Google visits a site, it goes, oh, hello, I'm visiting your site. There's been an update, because it spins the content automatically.
Right.
But if you've got your own site out there, a simple blog post, go on there and put a blog post up. There are services online where you can either go into your WordPress site itself and add lots of posts over a year and also schedule them. There's main WP or WP, I think it's main WP, that you can link all your sites up together for free. You install it on a blank domain somewhere, and you can manage all your sites. You can go into the one place and create posts for each of your sites you put up. Now, I got asked the other day by somebody, what happens if I own 100 sites? What do I do then? Well, as you build up the sites, think about creating content to all those sites as soon as possible. So what I mean by that is you build your niche site. Let's say it's a plumber site. Go in and schedule up one post a month, right, for the next 3 years. All right, or even 2 years, 24 posts, just schedule them up. If it's got one new post a month going out minimum, Google will see that you are adding content to the site. Another thing you can do as well is embed feeds. So you can use plugins to pull in your Facebook feeds. So you could have a Facebook page that you're updating regularly, and that page then gets pulled into your website. I've ranked sites in my local area that used to be children's nursery called Busy Bees. They closed down a little while ago. And I embedded their Facebook page onto their own website, and they're regularly doing updates. And Google was picking up on it and finding those updates and then indexing the updates. And that was linking back to their website, which was getting them more business. The reason they closed it down, they were in a church, and the church just didn't want the playgroup to be there anymore. And so they decided, that's it, done, goodbye. But what's funny, that they let the domain name go. I bought it, and I'm promoting other nurseries in the local area now. so it's a win-win. I make a bit of money off it, not much, but I make a bit of money. And it's great because you don't have to have all your eggs in one basket. Then you can have a directory site, a website promoting other niches in the same niche. You can have your agency websites. There's loads of ideas there. Even down to the other week, we're talking about getting people in, online by going to look at who hasn't updated their Google My Business profile. Go and have a look in the list. The amount of people who don't update them, reach out and offer a service to them. Say for a couple $100, I'll make sure I'll update it and optimize it. Because once you've opened that communication with someone, it's easier to sell them the next product. To go back to them and go, I know you haven't got a website. I'll get your website. I noticed that your website's not ranking. Well, instead of me setting up yours, I've already got a website ranking in your area. Because if you know their website's not ranking, get one in their niche built and up and running and get it ranked, right? And then offer it back to them. There you go. There's your customer. Outreach is really important. If you're really worried about sending an email or doing a phone call, join a local business group. Go to that local business group and join them and just be there. Talk to people. Go and listen. And then eventually, once they know you, offer to do a talk about websites to prove that you are the expert. If you can ask ChatGPT to help you write it, and then you've got the content, you do a slideshow of some sort of presentation, you talk about it, make sure you've got plenty of cards you can hand out to people. And as they come up to you, go, yeah, there's my card, have a chat. Oh, yeah, my website's a bit rubbish. Or the best thing to do is actually a presentation on Google My Business and say, why is it important to have your Google My Business listing optimized? Get that communication out. That's the fastest way to get hold of a client. We've shown it another week's trainings on the Live for Yous, where we've gone over it and said, search Google and find someone where they haven't updated their information. They're not been any, a great service to offer on GMBs, right? Is putting posts on there. You can automate that scheduling for them. Just say, let me know what sort of content you want. We'll write it and we'll put it up. ChatGPT writes it. You schedule it. You're done.
Steve, everything you're saying is absolutely spot on. But for so many people out there, they don't have the confidence to go do that yet. They don't have the confidence because they're not sure of themselves. Many are and can, right? But many are not. Most of us are introverts, and they don't know how to make those conversations. And that's why we started the accountability program. Because when you start building your sites and you start getting the knowledge and the lingo of how to talk about these things and see it actually happen. I mean, to take a site from ground zero, right? Put it into the program that we're building, show the people the actual site, give it to them to use so that they can use it as a sample or use it as it is, right? Just change it to their locations and watch the progress. Go through it with it. Because when you're doing it and making the changes and making the edits and doing, you know what, I'm just going to pull the curtain down here, right? Doing the right thing, not doing what everybody else does online, which is sell you half the program, half the knowledge, half the information. I like to talk about car engines a lot, and going to the car dealer and you buy a car, and you bring it home, right? You're not gonna bring it home and rip it apart to try to make it better because it's already running. And for people to understand that, because it's something that they do, websites are the same. We give you the car, you just have to put in the gas and put in the few edits to make it work, right? But we're going to teach you all those parts that are connected to it. So if we gave you the engine, the car won't run, right? You still need the alternator. You still need the air conditioning. You still need the water pumps. You still need all the accessories that go with that car engine to make it work, right? And that's what we did in the accountability room. We gave you the build, the engine, and then we gave you all the parts to connect to it. The phones, the opt-ins, the how to make things work, how to get it connected locally with your citations. All these steps are a process. Is it work? Yes. But that work is not meant to be a 30-second fix. That work is put in there to be years of production for yourself, for your agency. And that's what we did in the accountability program. Did it take longer than we thought? It did, because we gave more information than we ever thought we were going to include.
We gave tons, didn't we, Robert?
We just let everything go, right? And with that knowledge, Is it fair to me, anybody that's in the accountability program, is it fair to me to say, put a one in the chat, that we gave you more than you thought you were going to get as far as what the accountability program started to where it was going to go to?
We got Laurie, Richard, Barry, Bradley. We got one's coming into the chat, Bob. And the thing is, we always over deliver. When we got Colin and Tommy. When we first did this program, it was going to literally be, might be, goes 1.27654, always one. But the thing is when we originally started this, it was going to be very simply build an agency site, get 10 niches up, you're done. And we wanted to be it to be quick. And then we slowly realized, actually, we should be building this from the ground up.
We're doing an injustice.
We should be showing people, because I haven't seen a program online like we've built in the accountability program, and Robert's put a lot more hard work in than myself at the moment on it. And to build it from the ground up, it's this, and this, and you've got your agency site built. That's that plan. When people get moved up to the VIP, and we're aiming to get the first part of the VIP launch for the next few days, possibly Monday/Tuesday, depending on what's happening for me at the moment, and I'll talk about it on the inner circle. We're hoping next few days to have the VIP training for the directory build. We've got the videos recorded, and Robert's editing them. We've just got to get them into the members area, and then those that submit their website to a support ticket, those that have submitted their citations and their social media channels in a ticket, that point we can upgrade you to the VIP program and get you in there. And then the first part is your directory build. When that's done, then we're going to move on to doing a niche build. We're only going to go over one niche build, because all the niches, you pick what niche you want and you install them. It's pretty much the same thing. But once we've done the niche install, then we're going to show you what to do after that, because we got asked a question, well, if I want to build 100 of these sites, what do I have to build 100 social media channels, one for each site? And we're going to come to that on the inner circle in a little bit. So make sure you remind me, Robert, because we'll talk about that, of what to do, because you don't want to be managing 100 social media channels. And we found ways around that to get that right. But the main thing
Not only that, you want to turn those processes into money.
Yeah.
You want to turn like creating social media accounts for your clients for those sites. So you can use social media. I mean, we're going to talk about it in the inner circle, and that's why you need to be in the inner circle, because the information we give in there is we don't hold back.
Nuggets. Yeah. Absolutely. And the thing is we've got a training video coming up in a moment, and anyone who joins the inner circle watching this, or you join at a later time, there are replays available to watch the content, and I will find the time to put the edit of the video into the members area as well, just the part we're going to show on the inner circle in a minute. But just remember, Google's a waiting game. I've had sites I've put up, and I've done everything we're going to show you in a moment, and they still have an index, because sometimes the domain name is damaged without realizing it. You bought a domain name that someone's messed around with. It's been on some foreign sites that it shouldn't have been on, and Google won't touch it. You just have to buy another domain name occasionally and move the site over. Doesn't happen that often. We've been doing tests. I've been doing tests for a very long time, and more recently, what we're going to show you in a moment is the way I found to correct these problems with these sites, where you've got a headline up on a page, you've changed it on the site, and Google hasn't pushed the update. And just remember, Google is indexing hundreds and hundreds of pages, millions of pages a day. So it's like a needle in a haystack unless you tell Google. You go, hi Google, I'm here. Here's my needle. I want you to now look at that in that haystack, and I want you to now push my site forwards. So if anyone who's watching this at a later time wants to get onto our accountability training, and they want to get our ready built agency site, head to dfymagicthemes.com, dfymagicthemes.com, and on there you can read more about it. But in the meantime, before you cut loose,
we were fully transparent in our build, right? We gave them the case study. We showed them what we were going to do before we did it.
Yeah.
And during the process, we were indexed within 2 weeks. We had some things that changed. Some of the pages were indexed incorrectly. And that's what brought this training up today, right? Because we were looking at an older site that needed to get fixed because the newer site had already been fixed.
Yeah.
But in reality, at the end of the day, the term we went after, the term that we researched, had 20 million competing pages, right? And we're ranking page 1, first position for that keyword term with our case study site that we built in the accountability program. Now, if that's not proof in the pudding, I don't know what is, right? And it's only going to get better because we haven't even hit the site yet. That's just the basic build and building it right. We haven't hit it with our other tools yet that are coming out. So it's hard to not see it and be part of it. But if you want to rank sites and you want to build sites the proper way and you want to have an agency up and running or doing your own brick and mortar sites the correct way, this is what you get involved in. And you learn the process. You learn to build the foundation. We're not saying anything that we haven't said before 1,000 times, right? Over the last 3 years. It's build it right, build the foundation, give it good content, and keep it fresh. And that's what we continue to do. And we're making it simpler for people to get there as well and understand it in bite-sized bits. So get involved if you're interested in ranking websites, because the next part we're just gonna blow the doors in, because that's why we're waiting until everybody's done with the first portion before we move on. But go from there, Steve.
Cool. Right. I'm going to switch the inner circle, guys, and we're going to watch this training. So, but one final note on Google My Business is bad luck.